This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
So, we got this book that just came out. I don't know if you've...
You mean the Loop Files by Rick Kemper?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've been getting a lot of people wanting books, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Right? Selling it on Amazon, selling it on our website. But now Christmas is coming up, and I got a message yesterday that somebody needed 5 books by tomorrow, which is actually today.
Okay.
So he leaves a phone number, and I call him, right? And I call him back. And I ask him, well, how'd you hear about the book? And he goes, well, I listened to this podcast. Oh, really? What podcast? Minutia Guys is what he called it. Called the Minutia Guys, right? He goes, well, I'm one of the hosts. He's like, oh, my God, are you Rick? I'm like, no, I'm Dave. He's like, oh, hey, Dave. Yeah, clearly disappointed. So...
that's great.
Yeah. So he's never getting his effing books.
He really calls us Minutia Guys?
Yeah,
I like that.
Hey, Minutia.
That's even better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
because we are not men.
It's time for Minutia Guys.
The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie production on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is Minutia Men with Rick and Dave.
I mean, you are a bit of a celebrity right now with this book.
I got to say, it's pretty exciting. It's selling like gangbusters.
Well, and when I came here to your house, your family has a whole different attitude about you.
Really?
Nothing, just respect.
I have not noticed that.
Well, hey, we got to get going. It's almost Christmas. This is our last show for 2024.
Right.
So I think we had a pretty good year.
I think so.
You know what?
Other than the arm situation.
Are you almost dying?
Yeah.
You know who may or may not have a good 2024?
Who's that?
Vivek Ramaswamy. You a big Vivek fan?
Oh, he's the best.
Well, Vivek,
he is viscerally hated.
Oh, I know.
By not just by the Democrats, but by the Republicans.
But he's still polling at like 8.5%.
But when you hear him talking at these debates,
he's
he's getting booed.
Yeah, and he doesn't let anybody talk, and he's
anyway.
Well, so he was on a podcast with another couple of great guys. You may have heard of Alex Jones and Elon Musk. How did I miss this podcast? So he's on a podcast with Alex Jones and Elon Musk and a guy named Mario Nawfal, which rhymes with awful, which I imagine is probably what this podcast is. And he was talking about whatever.
All right.
And then he did something. Okay.
Would you like me to play
Yes,
it?
and I've got an audio. Or please play it.
Okay, here we go.
Decide not to have children. That's all I'm saying. And Elon Musk is promoting an optimistic, pro-human future that the science and evidence shows is real and that we need.
Gentlemen, I have to go.
Yeah, I just want to be sort of exactly. I want to be clear about my position. I'm super pro-human, and I mean all humans. Humans in America, humans in
somebody's
Africa,
got their thing
Asia,
open,
and everywhere else.
Somebody's got their phone open in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's Vivek. Vivek, that's your phone, Vivek. I'm not able to mute you. Vivek.
So
perfect. Go ahead, Elon.
Sorry about that.
So, well, I hope you feel better.
I feel great. Thank you.
So if you didn't, he was peeing.
He was peeing.
Peeing right there.
Yeah.
Couple things. If I was peeing in the middle of this podcast, you wouldn't know. I don't have a flow that would even. it would be inaudible. It would be inaudible, right?
He is much younger than us.
Yeah. So his live stream. I mean, he's got a very robust stream. Good for him. He's young, right? So on his live stream, he has a very good stream. So there you go, Vivek. God love you, buddy. Maybe hey, at least he didn't tubin. He didn't tubin it.
Oh yeah, that's much worse.
Yeah,
you're right about that. All right, so I have a piece for you here. This came out this week. You know how it's a texting world, Dave? You know that it's a texting world.
OMG.
LOL is the sort of thing that people know what that means in the text world.
My kids actually say LOL out loud now instead of laughing.
Yeah.
They go LOL. I'm like, okay.
You know what it reminds me of? When video games got really huge and versing became a word. Like, who are you versing today? I'm versing, such and such. That's not a word.
No.
It's not a word. Anyway, LOL, also not a word, but is something that is used often in the texting world. And I found this great article that has examples of what LOL is in other languages and other countries. Because, laugh out loud doesn't make sense if you're, say, Spanish or if you're...
And if you're German, you don't laugh.
Right, exactly. So here we go. I'm going to give you... Oh, wait. We gotta do a... We got to do a clip for this. You know what we're going to do right now? Can you guess?
That's probably a jingle for a quiz.
Yes, it is. And, if I were a professional broadcaster...
Who would maybe write a book about radio.
Yes. If I were that guy, I would have that Minutia quiz ready right now.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah. So I'm just going to do it. All right. Here we go. Which of these Brazilian LOLs? Which of these is the Brazilian LOL? All right. These are all real LOLs from various different countries.
And when you say LOLs, this is how they say LOL.
This is how they text
abbreviate
it. Yes.
the LOL.
Okay.
Laugh out loud.
Right. This is there are 4 choices. You tell me which one is the Brazilian one.
Okay.
All right. Is it 7777?
Okay.
KKKK?
I don't think it's KKKK.
H6H6H6? Or is it MDR?
I bet it's H6H6 because that kind of maybe looks at like rolling on the floor.
Well, that's the Estonian way of doing it.
Oh.
Because the number 6 is pronounced like O. So H6 would be ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
Ho, ho, ho. Okay.
Ho,
so
I see that.
So it's either 7777, KKKK, or MDR.
I can't imagine it's the KKKK. It's not the KKKK, is it?
It is the KKKK.
Is it really?
Yes. And it's an expression meant to imitate the sound of a laugh.
This is Brazilian?
That's Brazilian. The 7777 is Arabic, and it's because it sounds similar to ha in Arabic.
Okay.
And France, the MDR is an acronym for mort de rire, meaning dead from laughter.
Dead from laughter.
Dead from laughter, which is a very French way of doing it. All right. Here's Hebrew. You ready?
Well, did you know you read Hebrew from right to left?
Well, in this
so
case,
LOL, but LOL, it wouldn't matter.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
What's that weird noise?
Okay,
all right.
okay.
So here are your choices: NNN,
Okay.
ABMTAG,
Okay.
VOLO, VOLO, or 2333.
So Hebrew. So 2333. I wonder if there's. I mean, I don't know the language. What are the 4 choices again?
NNN, ABMTAG, VOLO, VOLO, or 23333.
No idea. Volo.
Volo is Italian. That means I fly, as in you made me laugh so hard I'm flying away.
Europeans are not that funny, evidently. What were the numbers?
All right, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
2323. What was the 2333?
2333 was that's Mandarin. That refers to the popular forum's laughing emoticon, which is number 2333. ABMTAG is Irish, short for the Irish, which means LMAO.
Okay.
Like laugh my ass off. It's NNN. That's ha 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 written in the Hebrew script.
So
NNN.
Is that a nun?
I don't know. And the last one we'll do.
Yeah.
Which of these is the German LOL? Is it XAXAXA?
Okay.
Is it JAJAJA?
Yeah.
Is it 555? Or is it I failed to see so humor in the situation?
Right. 9.
Yeah, the XAXAXA is Russian. The ya is Spanish.
Oh.
It's the letter J is pronounced like an H. It's actually ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then 555 is Taiwanese.
So German doesn't have a...
German has none.
No, LOL. So when I was a kid, this is an embarrassing story. My mom, being from Germany, she couldn't say, whenever Y, she would say J.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Major Daly.
This Mayor Daley. Major Daley, yes.
For the longest time, I thought he was in the army. Why is our mayor in the laundry or in the military?
Oh, so wait, before you get to the next section, you know what we just did?
Time now for a Minutia Minutia quiz.
LOL.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a review. This is from AS701 in the United States of America via Apple Podcasts on 12/7. Loved the Meg Kissinger interview. Really loved the Meg Kissinger interview. Heady topic, but somehow it made me laugh. And if those of you who did not hear that interview, we talked about suicide.
Yeah.
But
in the wackiest possible way.
Mental illness.
Yeah,
so.
It's still up there if you want to hear it. It's the current Minutia Men Celebrity interview. And right now it's time for this.
Time now for Studio Walls.
And the words of the prophets were written on the studio walls.
So, you know, this is the part of year where we gather around all the Who's in Whoville, and we snuggle up, and we sing songs.
We saw Pete Townsend a few months ago, so the Who and Who's.
Well, there you go. It's also the anniversary of The Grinch being released. And we had the chance to speak to Sarah Karloff, who is Boris Karloff's daughter. And Boris Karloff was famously the voice of the Grinch. He did in that great British accent of his. And we talked to her about that. Let's listen to her recounting the tale.
Well, let me tell you a story about that. My dad, as I have said, was very modest. He never brought his work home. He never talked about his work. He never talked about other actors. He never talked about his work. One night, and I have two sons, and they were little guys when that was done. One night, my phone rang, and it was my dad. And he said, "I've just done something that's going to be on the telly tonight." And he said, "I thought you and the boys might enjoy it." Well, I nearly dropped the phone because my father just never called and said, "I'm going to be on the telly," or
right.
"You might like to see this." And he said, "I think it's pretty good."
Well, I think it's pretty good. It's the timeless classic.
You and the boys might enjoy it a bit. I think it's going to be on about 7, and so
and on 7 for the next 60 years.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah. And he said, "Yeah, you might like to watch it." That was the end of it. So we watched it, and it was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And yeah, it was pretty good. We won a Grammy for it, and we're still watching it to this day.
A Grammy that is now on your bookshelf.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that is the way he felt. He just, it was pretty good. So to this day, I bought myself, about 3 years ago, I bought myself a Christmas present, a life-size Grinch that I put up in my living room every Christmas. And when you push its button, it wiggles its hips and twists its head and says some of the lines from the Grinch.
Oh, my God.
It's just wonderful.
Oh, my God. My family will not have ever a life-size poster of me.
No.
What would be the things I would say, You know,
it's funny. You're talking at the beginning of the show about me and this book.
Yeah.
I've done, several TV interviews for this. I've done, probably 10 or 15 other interviews. My family hasn't watched or listened to a single one of them. They don't care.
Are they aware that you wrote? Well, I know Bridget is aware that you wrote it because she drove us to the.
Yeah, because she's my chauffeur now with my bad arm. But yeah,
she was such a delightful.
Oh, Sarah Karloff was wonderful.
Do you know what interview?
That would be episode number 112, a Minutia Men Celebrity interview. Check it out.
This is her busy season too.
That's right.
So if you want to talk to, I'm sure we're not the only ones who interviewed her.
Yeah, in fact, last year we interviewed her during the Halloween season, if you remember.
Yes.
And her father was Frankenstein. So, I mean, you don't want to really talk to her between September and December.
Right.
She's pretty book solid.
Right. And any Mary Todd Lincoln impersonator right around February is not good for her. Okay, but other than that, it's pretty clear. I think.
Now you joke about that, but there really is one.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we tried to hire her once for your
right, and she was booked in February.
Yeah.
No, I can. This is my busy time. I can't do it. Hey, I got something out of Ohio, and have you noticed that Ohio is? Oh, can you do the Jenkins jingle, or is that asking way too much?
No. You think I can't do a Jenkins jingle?
Do a jingle.
When you're on the job and you're not doing it right. Jenkins! Time now for Dave to share stories of employee screw-ups. Jenkins! It could only be Jenkins with Rick and Dave. Jenkins!
Have you noticed that Ohio's becoming Florida?
Yes.
With crappier weather. This comes out of Columbus. A man who reportedly confessed to robbing a bank in Canton, Ohio, miswrote his demand note to the tellers because he was too high. Richard Hampton was arrested by police following a bank robbery at the Key Bank location at 3001 Cleveland Avenue. Charging documents filed Monday by an FBI agent accused him of giving the bank teller a note with the words, "Give me the," and the word "gun" underneath. He forgot to put the name or the word money in it, right?
Kind of a key element.
Clearly, he did not use the editors at Eckhart's Press because we would have been able to do it. So the bank teller, as a professional as he or she was, realized what was going on, gave $723 and a tracking device, and he ended up getting, he got caught. And he said that, like I said, he didn't write the note good enough because he was too stoned.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that happens.
One thing you know how we joke about how you're kind of judgy about eulogies?
Yep.
When you're, going on, you would be the worst bank teller during a bank robbery.
Why is that?
With the notes. Because you could be going, oh, come on.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
Right. You misspelled shenanigans here. Right?
It's not your with an apostrophe R-E.
Right.
Give me your.
Like you're going to die.
It's not like you're. That means you are.
Right. Okay.
It does not mean you're.
There is no subject. There is no predicate here. You've got a dangling participle. I'm not giving you any money.
You suck as a writer. Let me just say that.
Yeah. Well, when you're doing your app to write a eulogy, it could be the bank robbery.
Oh.
App too. Bank robbery.
You are an idea man.
This book's legs are gonna by February. Your yesterday's news. We gotta
probably by tomorrow, right, or Sunday.
It's already by Christmas.
Yeah. All right, I have a story for you. This is kind of a dark story, and it's about Mark Zuckerberg, who is the owner, or I guess the CEO of Meta, which is the Facebook and Instagram company.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Everyone knows who Mark Zuckerberg is. Well, if you didn't know, here's the story about him. He's building a massive Hawaiian compound complete with tree houses, dozens of bedrooms, and even an underground bunker, according to an investigation by Wired magazine. The in-depth investigation by Wired says the ranch will have 30 bedrooms,
of course,
30 bathrooms,
sure,
and a network of tree houses that connect to some of the rooms. Which is
for the kids or for him?
I don't know if he has kids. Wired reports that the main residence will be joined by a 5,000 square foot underground shelter. Now, this is where we get into the weirdness here. That includes living spaces and an escape hatch. Sources told Wired the compound will be completely self-sufficient with an 18-foot tall water tank and pump system and food production systems, because Mark Zuckerberg
is he a prepper?
A prepper.
Oh, boy.
A prepper, meaning that he's prepping for the apocalypse. Now, the Facebook founder is far from alone in his plans to as a prepper. You know who else is a prepper?
No.
Reality star Kim Kardashian is also a prepper. You know who else?
I don't want to interrupt and go on a tangent. There's a video of her giving a tour of her refrigerator.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I spent like 9 minutes watching the tour of her refrigerator. It's that big.
Like, what does she have?
Oh, she's got oat milk and whatever. But it was just everything was perfectly. It was like a grocery store.
Oh,
and it was this walk-in refrigerator.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, she's a prepper, so her bunker must look just like that too. Oh. Roseanne Barr's another prepper, and I started thinking about this. If the apocalypse comes and wipes out the whole world, isn't it fitting that the last three people would be a totally unsociable man who founded a social network, a woman who was famous for being famous,
sure.
and a loudmouth crazy comedian who everyone hates?
Yeah.
That's
going to repopulate our world.
Doesn't it pretty much perfectly describe America in 2023 right now?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like I always thought, and I didn't come up with this, but Canada must think that they're living on the top floor of a meth lab.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Who did come up with that? Was that one of our guests that said that one?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. It's time for our final feature.
A random name pulled out of Rick's bowl of brushes with celebrities. Mixture, collection, selection, assemblage, medley, assortment, variety. Time now for Celebrity Potpourri with Rick and Dave.
So this one's a little odd, but I figure it's a good way to end the season. This is from Grant. Grant writes, I'm not sure if this qualifies as a brush with celebrity, but here goes. I met Mad King Ludwig of Bavaria during the Oktoberfest in Munich in 2018. He was totally drunk, but he was wearing a long, furry cape. And when I asked him who he was, he swore he was Mad King Ludwig. Now, the real king died in the 1880s.
I was going to say, I don't think he's alive anymore.
Which I pointed out to him. This King Ludwig swore that he came back to life just for Oktoberfest, but was planning on going back to hell before Christmas that year.
Okay.
I did think it was a little suspicious that he was wearing a current Bayern Munich jersey under his cape, but that's what I would do if I was trying to fit in 140 years after my death.
Sure.
He hasn't been seen since, so who knows?
Well, him and JFK. This is probably like a QAnon type. So Mad Ludwig. Yeah.
Have you ever heard about Mad King Ludwig?
I have not. It sounds like a.
So Mad King Ludwig's the guy who built the Neuschwanstein Palace. You know, the Disney.
They ripped off for Disney.
He built another palace called Herrenchiemsee, which is an exact duplicate of Versailles.
Yeah, what's the first part? Herren?
Herrenchiemsee.
You love herring.
Oh,
so.
no, that's herring. That's different. And then he has another one, a little summer palace. But he died because he believed that he could walk on water.
Oof.
And turns out he couldn't.
Wow.
Yeah, and he also couldn't swim.
Yeah. So
he died in Lake Constance, which is a beautiful lake.
In Bavaria.
In 1886.
Well, he was at Oktoberfest.
In 2018.
If you're going to come back.
Yeah. The very first Oktoberfest was his wedding.
Oh.
That's where Oktoberfest started.
Well.
So that's probably why that guy was wearing the King Ludwig outfit, to just fit in, but... maybe it was the real guy.
Now, Bayern Munich, are they hated? I know you're a big Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
Do you?
I like Bayern Munich too.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're my second favorite German team.
Okay.
Eintracht Frankfurt is my favorite.
Who's going to the World Cup coming in? When is the World Cup?
The European Cup is next summer.
That's what it is.
We're going to Berlin.
Okay.
I'll be there for that.
So who do you think is?
Well, it won't be the Germans. The Germans are not so good.
Really?
It could be the English. They're looking pretty good.
So for those of you who tend to have maybe a DraftKings app or a Caesar's Palace app, put your money
those of you.
Put your money on...
well, don't bet on England because everyone bets on England, and they never win it.
So what is your dark horse?
France.
Really?
France, yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Not so much of a dark horse.
Profits of the loop files available at Eckhart's Press will be putting on... I'm going to put it on... France to win the European Cup. We've got a lot of people to thank this holiday season.
Let's do that.
Tony, for all your work. Tony Lasano, all his work throughout the year.
Yep. He's the executive producer of this show, and we couldn't do it without him.
Yeah. Happy holidays to Tony. And Ed Silla.
Ed Silla.
Distributes by hand every one of our downloads.
Does. Yes, and there have been now over 500 shows that we've done for this outfit. And
this outfit. This joint.
It is,
the outfit.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to thank them because we couldn't do it without them. And honestly, no one else was giving us the opportunity when we first started. And so here we are.
And now the offers are coming in left and right. I mean,
top 1% in the world.
Brandon Herman.
Brandon Herman, who scores guests for us for our Minutia Celebrity Interview.
He scored Sarah Karloff.
And scored... Meg Kissinger. Yeah, well, I guess he didn't do that. You did that.
No, whatever.
But we'll be back again next year, right?
Yeah.
Should we
first
take off
week
a
of
couple
January?
of weeks?
Yeah, first week of January or something.
We'll be back again
Still gotta
next year with a brand new episode of
Minutia Men.
The preceding was a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Find our other great shows on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at radiomisfits.com. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?
Jaja.